Hey guys, so I'm so happy for today because I've got my personal highlight from the Bottle Market Ferry, or the whiskey ferry I visited last week. I bought a Stauning whiskey, and now the clue, it's majored in a maple syrup cask. How cool is that? And that is how the whiskey looks like. So, but before we start, first of all, as always, I give you some information about the distillery itself, and we started like this. 4 engineers, a helicopter pilot, a doctor, a cook, a teacher, and a butcher go to bar together. Ha! I know that sounds like the beginning of a kind of bad joke, but in this case it's actually not. Here it describes the start of a distillery journey. But from the beginning. It all started in 2005 with a radio show about distilleries in Scotland. It was said that it is basically quite easy to distill a whiskey, but the tricky part is that it's tasty after it. Martin, who is one of the founders of the Stauning Distillery, heard this radio program and was like, "Huh? Why we don't have any distillers around here?" So he wondered why there's no one in his home country. So he rounded up like 13 family members and friends, and at the end we got 9 involved of the persons that I told you at the beginning. And they started producing the first Danish whiskey. And Diageo has held 40% stake in Stauning whiskey since 2015. So that was quite a funny story behind it. I needed to tell that. And now we have a look at the whiskey itself. So we got a rye whiskey here with maple syrup cask finish. It was distilled in October 2017 and was bottled in November 2021. So it's quite fresh actually. We have bottle number 233. I know Sascha, the friend who was with me on the ferry, got around like 180 or something like that. So I have no idea how many bottles exist. Cask number 997, we got 57.2% of ABV, which is quite cool. The artist of the beautiful design you saw is Tithit. I have no clue how to pronounce that. He's a tattoo artist and illustrator. We have a non-chill filtration and it's natural color. So that sounds quite good. And now I'm a little bit nervous because all guys of you that already been to ferries, to whiskey ferries, know what I mean. Like before you get to this point, you drink a few drams, maybe 1, 2, 3, 4 or 5. And you also have your friends around it, and it's exciting, and everything tastes better, and you know what I mean. So now I'm nervous because that really was my highlight, and I still hope that it will be my highlight after this tasting. So let's check this out. All right, let's see. OMG, we have like immediately, I immediately have the association with pancakes with maple syrup. Oh, I so love this. So you've got the typical maple syrup smell, including the light mustiness. Oh, I love that. I so love that, and I'm getting hungry now. But behind it, you also have like some floral notes and something fresh, light vanilla notes, and also like something herbal, as well as like a slight lot of note, and you don't notice the ABV. So let's see. Cheers, guys. The alcohol is very well integrated. You don't recognize the 57%. It got a really nice mouthfeel. It's oily and creamy, and yes, you can recognize the maple syrup. I am so happy about it. I mean, it's not that strong as it was in the nose, but still, you taste it. That's pretty cool. But you also have like tart notes, and that's pretty good because they make sure that the whole whiskey is not too sweet. You also have the slight vanilla notes again, and more to the end, I also have like earthy notes, which is pretty cool. The finish is quite long, I can tell from the ferry. That's pretty cool. You also have, I got like latte macchiato notes here with maple syrup. This is pretty cool. I need to try that in real. I can imagine that it will taste well, so I will check that out. But also you have nice wood notes coming through now, which is really good. So you can try to add water, but for me it's too herbal after, and the maple syrup is too much in the background for me. So I won't recognize it with, I won't recommend it with water, but just try it out and yeah, let's see what you think. But for me, maybe you recognize it. Thumbs up from my side. I so love this one. So it's still a highlight for me because I never tried something like that. Never a rye whiskey in combination with a maple syrup cask finish. Wow, I'm really like, so yay, that's so cool. So if you know any other whiskey, maybe it doesn't have to be a rye whiskey, maybe a maple syrup cask finish, just leave me a comment. I need to try that. So I paid around 75 euros. Thumbs up from my side. I would buy it again because it's something I never had before. And it's, on the one hand, it's a really easy sipper. And on the other hand, you really can take your time with it and will discover something new every time. So that's pretty cool. Yeah, I love it. And now I'm curious, do you know this finish? And what's your favorite Stauning rye? Yeah, what's your favorite Stauning whiskey? And now I just can say have a great Friday, a great weekend, and we see us next week. Bye guys! So the whiskey is